Archer.
Buongiorno amici, ciao tutti, sono BC, and welcome back to Plutonium. Welcome to my world. And you can see behind me the desert village, and man oh man, it's looking awesome from a distance. Very happy with it. Whoop, whoop. Let's try this one. There we go. Very, very happy with it. I really like the way it's turning out. I've been having so much fun building it. Man, I feel short. Huh, weird. Anyway, been having so much fun building it and having a lot of fun putting it together and making the time lapses that we've been working on. And okay, it's noon, and here I am back at the mission. Right, I'm up here on the top of the hill at the mission, and if you couldn't guess, this big dirt pile sitting on top of it is Ajax, and he's ready to log in pretty soon and help us with a little bit of time lapse video, perhaps. But I want to work a little bit more on the mission, because I'm kind of wanting to move on from this area. Just because I feel like I've been stuck, not really stuck, but I've just been focusing a little bit of energy, a little too much energy out here, and I kind of want to move on to some other things. But the whole reason we came out here in the first place, I mean, the entire reason why we started in the desert was what? To collect sand and ink. And we haven't collected any ink yet at all. And the whole point of building this mission was where I was going to be putting my ink factory. So, yeah, let's get that up and running. Because, honestly, if you'd remember way back, the project that we took a break from was the Nether Hub. I was going to actually be working on the tunnel that services the Guardian Farm area. And I needed more black glass, and we needed sand and black ink. So let's get to it. Let's get this ink production rolling. Now, there is one problem with it, and it really kind of sucks, but, you know, oh well, we're going to figure it out, is if you check it out, I am actually at level 83, 82, and squid actually only spawn between levels 45 and 62. So what's going to end up happening is we're going to have some sort of crypt area where our squid are spawning. And we're just going to have to work it out that way. So, yeah. So, let me get Ajax on board. Ajax, hello. Where you at, brother? Come on. There you are. Sweet. And your head's on backwards. But he's actually watching us. All right. So, Ajax is online. He's hanging out. Good to go. And like I said, I want to work on some more of this mission, and I've got some pretty good ideas in mind, and we're going to start working on some more of the exterior walls and a little bit more of the chamber around the mission. And I want to first start off with, let's see here, looking at some drawings I made, and I'm not finding the right one. Let's see here. Okay, well, shoot. Let's just do it this way. So, hey. Hi. If you remember the last time we were together, I was in a rush, like a serious heck of a rush, because I had to get going and get on a plane. I was literally recording while the rest of my family was kind of packing bags and doggone near loading those bags into the car. So it was, I actually left the house with my computer running just because I was trying to get it to complete its upload to YouTube, which ended up happening while I was gone, and then I made the episode live. So that was really cool, and it all worked out, and everything was good, and everything was fine. Now, let's see here. So, if you recall, I went to London, and the reason I went to London is because my children had their recess from school for the spring, and so we decided to go to London for about 10 days, and oh my gosh, guys and gals, let me tell you what, I've been a lot of places in the world. And I've seen a lot of things, and we've talked about a lot of that stuff, like on this time that we're together here. We've in this program, I guess you could say, we've talked about a lot of the stuff that I've done, and talking about like world perspective and, what it means to be, really in tune with, things and forces that are, greater than yourself. And, but I'll tell you what, I have never seen something as just downright cool as London. I was really impressed. And I'll tell you the biggest thing that caught my eye, and maybe I hope I'm not the only guy that acts like this. Please tell me there's other of you out there. I mean, seriously, tell me, because otherwise I'm gonna feel really awkward. But it never failed. As we traveled around, I would always constantly see things, and I'd be inspired to say, "Oh yeah, I want to build that. Oh yeah, I want to build that. I want to build that." And it was really cool. Like, it was so cool. London is definitely a very neat and interesting place, in the sense that there is such an incredible mix of new and old architecture. I mean, it really is amazing at the amount of new and old that are clashing and combining. Well, they're not even clashing; they're just combining. It really is incredible. On the one street, you're constantly walking through places where it's like super old buildings and freaking castles and bridges and old boroughs and then like in the skyline in the distance you see like super modern buildings, such as the what's the name of it? They all have nicknames. Like, there's something called the Gherkin, which means the pickle. There's another thing called the walkie-talkie and the razor, and I think there was another building called the Shard. But it's all this incredibly, just overwhelmingly awesome modern architecture, and yet it shares the same skyline as this, old castles and churches and cathedrals and stuff that was built in the freaking medieval times. It's just incredible. And I've been to like a few cities that are very similar in the sense that they do share their skyline with modern stuff and old, but this was something else. It really was something else. So if you ever get the chance, I highly recommend taking a trip to London. It was awesome. It was and the coolest part about it, and this is all yet to come, is that again, it may sound kind of dorky to say I got lots of inspiration, but I really did, and you guys are gonna see it coming soon. Okay, coming soon to the YouTubes near you. You're definitely gonna see some of the inspiration that I received while I was there, because the buildings, some of the architecture, there was just some really incredible things that I got inspired to try and do. Maybe not recreate the exact same building in Minecraft, but definitely a similar shape and attitude and just general feeling and ambiance. I think is something that it's definitely something we're going to do. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make some steps because we're going to need it. And so what I'm working on here is just kind of some of the same, not same, but very similar design that we've used over in the tower. Just kind of working on some of these indents. I really don't know what else to call them, but I'm basically working on a main wall, and you know, like I do, I built a lot of this already in creative mode. I really do. I recommend it to anybody who wants to be a serious builder. Like if you really want to sharpen your building skills, you got to get in creative. You could be an amazing builder in survival. I mean, no doubt about it. You really could. But, you know, to get the perspective of back like this and forth and back and forth and back and forth, it really takes a lot of effort, and it's painstaking, and you just can't get the instant perspective that you can get by, you know, flying back. I hear you. That you can get just from like instantly flying away, you know, a few squares, a few blocks. So I highly recommend to anybody who, you know, really wants to get serious about their building, especially if you're going to do it, you know, YouTubing, build it in creative first. You know, figure out what it is you want. What does it taste like? What does it look like? What does it smell like? Figure out all those little details, and then jump in front of the camera and knock it out. And in fact, a lot of times when I build things in my creative world first, they don't always end up exactly the same when I finish them in the real world. So just a little bit of advice. And you know, it's just like drawing. You know, an artist makes a sketch before they make the drawing. You know, even a painter makes a sketch on the paper, on the canvas, before they put any paint to that canvas whatsoever. So you got to do it. So yeah. So far this is the wall that I want to start off with, and what we're doing is we're building like a main kind of sanctuary chamber. And eventually there's going to be a lot more buildings and stuff off to it. But this is about as far out as we're going to come right now. And what I want to do is, in this area here, is going to be a very, very large, like octagon-shaped room. And let's see, in order to achieve... let's see here. How is this looking here? Yeah, this is going to kind of hang off the front here. That's going to be a little wild. I might have to do a little bit of terraforming on the front here. But, all right, so I'm going to be working on a big octagon-shaped room here. Oh, I hear you. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just get everything situated, get the foundation laid out. Oh, ow. I'm going to get, oh, shoot. Get Ajax a little bit better prepared. I'm going to go sleep for one and make it day. And I think we're going to go ahead and at this point in our broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to shift to a little bit of time lapse. I'm going to put a little bit of my favorite artist to the music, which is NI12, who does great remixes and renditions of other stuff. Hey, Ajax, buddy. You're holding the progress. And, yeah. I'll meet you guys back at the site, and I hope you enjoy it. Ciao, ciao for now. All right, Amici, welcome back from that little piece of time lapse. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did, and man, this was a little bit of a difficult just kind of maneuvering and working my way around this structure, but I think it turned out pretty sweet. And what you didn't see is I went ahead and built this wall right here beyond the time lapse, but I'm kind of at a sticking point here because originally the design was to have this area here be the front, and I'm gonna have to create another tower right here in this area, but I'm only gonna go up as high as the wall or just a little bit beyond. So there will be one bell tower and then just another kind of turret tower, and then we'll create the front. But the problem I'm having is that right here is a piece of our mountain, and gosh, as much as I don't want to destroy this piece of mountain, I think I'm gonna have to just kind of mow it down a little bit right here, this one right here. So I think off camera I'm gonna go ahead and take some time to kind of terraform this down and create it. Still want to try and keep it looking a little bit natural, but yeah, so hopefully next time we get together the overall structure will be done, this tower will be done, and we can start looking at the front. But I am very pleased overall with the way this turned out, but not extremely pleased. And I say that because the more I look at this thing from a distance, I feel like I've made it a little too big. But inside, you could see, turned out really cool. And once I come in here and we start working on some interior type stuff, I think it's going to look really sweet. And I'm thinking about lining the inside of the dome maybe with snow or quartz or something so it looks pretty sweet. Maybe some sort of fresco or something. I don't know, like a pixel art fresco. That would be kind of crazy. But yeah, so this is coming along. And so another thing, and I mentioned it earlier, right? I talked about our squid farm being in this area. And originally I wanted the streams of water inside this building. And as you can see, we are on level 82, and squid only spawn from 45 to 62, so it's really going to be a ways underground, and I kind of regret that. Originally, I had found a spot, or I had scoped out a spot to make this mission way off in the distance there at a level piece of ground, which was between some mountains and really cool terrain. But I just didn't want it to be really far away from this little town here, so we kind of got to do what we got to do. But hey, I'm not complaining. I think this thing is looking sweet. Let me head over to the village, and you can kind of see what I see from over here. In fact, we'll go to the chapel, and we'll go up on top of the chapel. And then I think we're going to call it quits, because, like I said, I got a lot of work to do, just kind of forming the mountain. It's actually been... believe it or not, it's been about 5 days that I've been working on that time lapse because I have just not had the time. And in fact, there's been a 2-week gap in between episodes because I've just not been able to really put any kind of time towards playing the game. So yeah, I mean, it kind of stinks, but I mean, it's gonna be good. So we're gonna get back on track, and things should be good. But so check it out if you could see off in the distance, and I think it looks really great. I'm really happy with the structure and everything. But the main chamber area looks like it's just a little too big. But hey, this is just the overall outside, and there's gonna be more buildings and annexes that are gonna be attached to it. And overall, I think it should kind of calm down the size of the main chamber. You know, if we change our perspective, right, it looks pretty good like that. Yeah, it's kind of weird how that... Anyway, I guess it just has to do with the field of view. But that's gonna do it for now. Like I said, once we start adding different annexes and stuff onto it, I think it's gonna look really cool, and it should definitely kind of calm down the giganticness of it all, and make everything good to go. So I'm going to keep working on the mountainside. We're working on the exterior walls. I really want to get this squid farm taken care of because we really have to have black glass before we go any further. And then I want to take a break from the desert, get back into the nether hub, and finish up some of our our tunnels and stuff that we need to get to our different areas. And then I think, honestly, I want to start moving over back towards the country club and working on interior design and rooms inside there. And that's where I'm going to want to recruit some help from you. That's right, Amici. I'm looking for the potential to have people come here on Plutonium who are interested in helping me build interiors. So, more to follow on that. That's just a thought that I'm having. And it's something that I think there's a few members out there in the community who I'd love to have on Plutonium and do some collaborative stuff with. So, more to follow. But for now, Amici, I will talk to you later. Ciao a tutti. Buona giornata, and bye-bye.